Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We talk everything animation here, including Miraculous Ladybug, which we'll be getting into right now. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
And April Collins.
Hey!
We are very excited to be back talking Miraculous Ladybug Season 2. Finally, a new episode aired in Canada today, Reverser. The English dub of Reverser came out, and we'll be getting into everything about this episode. Make sure you have seen Reverser. It just came out. And spoilers for this episode, all previous episodes of Miraculous Ladybug. We are very excited to talk about Ladybug every time that is new here at the Overly Animated Podcast. Find us at overlyanimated.com or search for Overly Animated Ladybug on iTunes to subscribe there, or on our YouTube at overlyanimated.com/YouTube. So, this episode, Reverser, I would like to start things off by asking, what the did we just watch? That's what I'd like to start off by asking here. Delaney, what are your thoughts on Reverser?
Okay, so the episode starts and we're like, cool, this is fine. And my girlfriend has been waiting all day. She's like, when are you podcasting? I'm like, why do you care? And she's like, because it means we're gonna watch the episode. I'm like, oh my god, okay. Jesus. So I mean, it's great my girlfriend likes to watch everything I watch, but man, calm down.
No,
also, I'm a little confused. Like, are we going to curse on this one? It's whatever. So, that's just how
I bleeped that. Okay, keep going.
Okay, good to know. Everyone's like, what? Okay, so it starts. I'm like, this is okay, whatever, we're in school. And I'm like, who's that? And then my girlfriend's like, well, that's the villain of the episode. And I'm like, true. And then at first I'm like, it's a girl. And then, because no, it starts, and my girlfriend's like, gay, and I'm like, we don't know yet. And I was like, oh, it's a boy, and I was like, gay, and then we were like, what is going on? Like, okay, we have boy Marinette, and like, he's cool or whatever. His name is Mark. Like, literally, could we try it a little bit harder, just a little bit harder? So like, this episode is the love story between Nathaniel and Mark. Yes. That's what this episode is.
Correct.
So like, yes. Okay, like. This was kind of like Simon Says, but like 25,000% worse. Like I'm gonna throw paper airplanes at you, and you're gonna reverse your powers. And it was like, why are we doing this? Why? Reverser's character design was really cool, but like the whole episode was like, what are we doing right now? Like, there's all these elements. We're gonna have to break them down. So like, we have this new character, which I will give them credit for the first time ever in Ladybug. They explained something that they never would have explained otherwise. They were like, oh, you're in a different class. I'm in a different class. Thank you for introducing this random character that I don't know. You're like, oh, I'm in a different class. Thank you, logic. Now I understand why I've never seen this person before. And then they're like, so we have the weird art, that's cool, whatever. And Alex just does street art in the room, that's cool. Alex roasts Chloe out of the room, which is the most magical thing that's ever happened. And then Alex still managed to get in trouble for it. And then Marinette's playing matchmaker. Like, what? And then the most beautiful part of the episode is there's a protest.
Yeah, have you not gotten to this yet?
The mayor. We're gonna launch all of our garbage into space, which, like, in literally any other show, I'd be like, that's bad. I like it. We're gonna talk about it. Then it's like, what? Since when does, like, one, the mayor of Paris does not have this power at all. Two, like, what? Like, what? This is so weird. Like, I appreciate that we're having a protest, but, like, none of this, like, we're gonna launch trash into space. Like, why? Why did we have this in this episode? This is like the weirdest thing ever to happen in Ladybug, and we've seen a lot of weird stuff. and then the villain's like, we're gonna bring all the trash to Paris. Why? Why? And then my favorite part is they were all freaking out about it, as if Ladybug literally acts every day like she's not gonna fix it. So what if millions of people die if garbage hits Paris? It's going to be fixed in like 20 minutes.
Okay, that's the thing you're latching onto. That's every episode, but yeah.
But no, I'm latching onto the garbage in space.
Yes.
The best part of the episode was Mylene and like Ivan being like protesting, and it was magical. And I was like, yes, couples who protest together stay together, good stuff. But it was like, why are we launching dumpsters into space? Why?
Okay.
So Paris can be clean.
And then apparently I don't even know, like all of it. What? And then like Alex is just like roller skating in the Louvre, and it's like that's not normal, but okay.
Again, not the highlight here, but yeah.
Okay, the highlight is the garbage in space,
yes.
right?
You've latched on to the space dumpsters. I'm glad we've gotten to the highlight already. Okay. So Delaney,
well, I had to go through the different thing, but obviously
there's more ridiculousness to get to. But Delaney obviously liked the episode.
It was good, and it was really gay, and like comic books are cool.
Yeah.
But then but I will say it was physically painful to watch this unfold, because as soon as you like watch Marinette erase it, me and my girlfriend are like, no. And like I had to keep pausing it because I'm like, I'm not emotionally ready for how awful this is about to be.
Yeah, that segment is pretty rough. It's
I'm like, oh, and then like Marinette's filming it. Like I'm like, oh, this is so bad. Like there's secondhand embarrassment, and there's whatever we just watched was. Like that was like so physically painful.
Okay, physically painful is Delaney's review for.
But I liked it. But physically painful is my review.
Okay, April, give us your takes on Reverser here.
Okay, so I don't know why, but I was very distracted by the fact that his name was Mark, and so every time he came on the screen, I said, "Oh, hi, Mark."
Marinette opens this episode. She says, "Hey, Mark." Why didn't she say, "Oh, hi, Mark"? Like she could have
exactly missed opportunity,
yeah.
guys. But it's okay. I did it in my head every single time. I was like, "Oh, hi, Mark." "Oh, hi, Mark."
Good,
like,
man.
Is this a thing?
Yeah,
it's from the room.
Don't worry about
if
it.
you've ever seen it. Okay.
No,
anyway,
good.
I liked his cool rainbow tee, so that was nice.
Yay, more evidence.
Yes. Also, I was very because they were talking about Queen Wasp, and I was like, wait, we haven't seen that yet. Like, what is wrong with you people?
Nope.
So very upset because I feel like I just watched a bunch of spoilers in like one sentence. So thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
They're like, oh, we're gonna do this team up thing. Like,
yeah.
And then they're like
Queen Wasp, and I was like, okay, so Queen Wasp is a villain, got it. Like, and we've already seen her. I haven't, but that's nice.
Thank you.
And I appreciate that both Mark and Nathaniel, like in their, I guess, like stories about Ladybug, they just kind of leave chat to the side. They're like, whatever, like he's not important, which was also very confusing because, like, at one point I was like, wait, I can't remember who have a crush on Ladybug because Nathaniel.
Also,
yes.
This is literally like this is next level self-insert fan fiction. So it was like he was a Illustrator, so like. He literally was a Illustrator, and so now he has this self-insert fan fiction of like this alter ego he was once, and like what?
Yeah,
except true. he's now a good guy, but
it's amazing, honestly.
But yeah, so Mark and Nathaniel forever. Also, I would totally look at the unique collection of masterpieces of Chloe selfies.
Yes.
When does that exhibit open?
Yeah,
I know.
Okay, the fact that like it's another one, like how many are there? Like, right? Also, it looks like the worst collage ever.
No, it was beautiful.
But yes, like Delaney said, how many of them are there? Like, is there enough for us to have an exhibit? Because she can't be in the art studio anymore to make these collages. And I was like, but how many? Like, I just need to know. Also, Tiki, I did not appreciate at all this episode, and she only had like 2 lines.
Tiki should have been like, "Don't read it."
Yes, I was super surprised. I was waiting for Tiki to be like, "Marinette, you know better," and then
Tiki was also dumb.
Yeah, but she was just like, "Don't you understand? You're everyone's lucky charm," and I was like, "Nope, I'm done." I threw my pen.
You're an inspiration to everyone. Like, shut up, Tiki. Tiki, you're the inspiration. You just patted yourself on the back. Like, shut up.
Yes. Okay, but yes. So, space dumpsters. First off, how did this initiative get started? Because
also, he has a button. It's literally on a tablet, and it already happened, and they're protesting it. Like, guys, like we should have been protesting this before this happened, but they're already in space. Like, they're like
super late to the party.
Yeah, no, they were like, oh, this is bad. And they were like, because at first you think they're talking, they're like, oh, this is an initiative. And you're like, they're talking about it. No, it already happened.
Yep.
Like the dumpsters are already in space. So I'm just wondering, like, what back alley money was given to the mayor, to Mayor Bourgeoisie, so that space dumpsters could be a thing, and what are actually in those dumpsters that they don't want inside of Paris anymore. Conspiracy theory.
Wow.
But yeah, also...
Does this mean we're going to space? Like, you can't be like, we stick dumpsters to space, but that means Marinette can't go to space. Like, they need to go to space.
Yes, we all need to go to space. Also, Reverser was super mean to chat, and it was hilarious.
It was really good.
Like, he said, what was it, from puss to wuss? And I was like, oh, okay, like, we're not being nice. But
also, like, he's like, oh, Marinette, you're just clumsy. No, I'm just gonna literally ruin your life.
Yeah, okay, I did not get his superpower whatsoever, and I'm sure we'll talk about it more, but I was like, okay, so he's going to make people like the opposite of what they are, but it was only like one aspect
also,
about
there was
themselves.
someone riding a bike, and they forgot how to ride a bike. Like, that is the dumbest
I was like,
thing
that's not like reversing things. That's just like him forgetting how to ride a bike. What is going on? So, obviously, I give this episode 3 space dumpsters out of 5.
Out of 5 space dumpsters. Wow. High marks? Question mark from April on Reverser.
Like, I don't know. Do you want more or less space dumpsters? I don't know.
Yeah, not clear. Okay, not that we're underselling it, but I think this is the most ridiculous episode of Miraculous Ladybug to date.
It's crazy.
I do think it edges out the rhyming episode barely. That is also very much up there for most ridiculous episode, and we're just full on craziness because those are I think two or three most recent episodes. Like, this episode is nuts. I actually really like this. I think this episode's very good.
No, it's really good, and like it's just absurd.
A lot of fun. Yeah, it's absurd, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, like I'll defend this claim, but I think this is like a tier above the rhyming episode. I think it's one of the best episodes of the show, like that type of tier.
Well, it's like next level ridiculous, but it works. That's the thing, because you're like, it's space dumpsters, but you're buying it the whole episode, and you're like, this is stupid, but you
don't question it until after the episode's over,
and you're like. And then
that's not true.
No, and then Ladybug's like, the dumpsters are entering the atmosphere. Like,
oh yeah. Are there stars out during the day? No, those are dumpsters.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing was, we were like, oh no, they're coming. We're like, this is like the dumbest thing ever. But like, it worked. And I was like, and then my favorite, again, I told you, the Eiffel Tower has to be in every episode. Yes. And for no reason whatsoever, the mayor was on the Eiffel Tower with his iPad.
How did he get there?
Like, no reason. Did the angry mob just take him there and leave him? Like, why did we do that?
I think Reverser flew him up. But first of all, April, I definitely was aware while watching how ridiculous space dumpsters were. Let's make that clear. Let's also quote this line exactly because it's incredible. Marinette says, "Those are no stars. The trash is entering the atmosphere. In a few minutes, it'll be like having a meteor shower, except with dumpsters instead."
Okay, that doesn't make any sense, because if he's using the technology that got the dumpsters up there, would that same technology not safely get the dumpsters back to Earth?
Oh no, I think he just hit abort. Like,
why does abort crash them back to Earth? Like, okay, but
for using typical movie sci-fi, that's how this works.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, look. So yeah, so first of all, we buried the second most ridiculous aspect of this episode, which is 1, space dumpsters, obviously. 2 is the climax, where Marinette's brilliant plan is to send Cat up, bound and gagged.
And he's a kite.
On a kite, and then Alex and Marinette fly Cat into the villain.
This is so magical.
Did we miss that part? That's
the best part.
No, I wrote about that.
No, and then the best part is like, he's like, "You better not trick me." And the elevator opens. He's literally like, "What?" And then it's just this kite just flying at him. Like, what?
Send Cat's up with Marinette's yo-yo in his mouth, like.
And then Marinette, it'll work. Like, Marinette, there was like, by some miracle of God, this worked. Like, what?
It's the craziest like climax to an episode. And it's awesome, and that's great. I think Reverser's great throughout this entire episode. I think he's one of the best villain designs of the show.
No, his villain's really cool. His design's really cool.
Yeah, he's paper-based. He's riding on a paper airplane. He throws little paper airplanes at people.
I thought that was great. I liked the black and white. Like,
black and white, yeah. I do think his power doesn't really make that much sense. He really can just change one aspect of someone.
I thought when he was like, "You can reverse it," I was like, "He's gonna hit it's gonna hit Ladybug. She's gonna be Marinette, and I'm gonna cry."
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
But
For like
again,
a moment,
we're
I
watching
gave the
Ladybug,
show a lot of
and that doesn't
credit.
happen. Yeah, no, we gave the show way too much credit. That doesn't happen.
So in theory, he can change someone's characteristic, but I think it can misfire and hit someone else. So really, you can just change a characteristic of anyone.
Yeah.
I thought he was great throughout. I think there's an incredible scene of him like forcing like the guy falling over on the airplane on the bicycle. We covered that. Marinette has to like swoop under the bridge in this action shot and save him.
It's
And like
so
That
that's
was super clever.
that was
Like,
really-
actually.
this episode is some of the best storyboarded sequences of the show. That's really awesome. Then you have Mark and Nathaniel, obviously the new OTP, like everyone's favorite romance. It was incredible.
Well, they're not. Okay, they are new, but like Julika and Rose are the original
Yes.
OTP.
And
Yeah,
there's a
bump
great Julika
out.
Rose shot in this episode where they're clinging
As per
to each
usual.
other. Yeah.
Yes.
So good.
It has everything. We have Klutz Ladybug and Scaredy Cat, which they almost didn't say like in the dub until the very end. Scaredy Cat, it's such an obvious thing to do.
Like how
So
did you
sad.
not say them?
I guess it didn't
immediately?
fit with the lips, but yeah, like Scared Cat was incredible. Him just complaining about all the taxi drivers going.
Oh my
too
god, that was my
fast. Yeah.
favorite. He yelled at every single one
You're
of them. It
a
was
public
beautiful.
health hazard.
So good.
So it's so
No, my
funny, this
favorite is when he
episode.
gets out of the taxi and he has a blanket. That's the best. Like that is.
Where did the
best.
blanket come from?
Who cares?
Not clear. Yeah, he's like a shock blanket. Yeah,
It's so amazing.
from riding in a cab.
That is my
He won't
favorite.
even go up the stairs.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
makes me sick.
Marinette has to say, here, kitty, kitty, to him to get him to go up the stairs. Yeah. And then Klutzy Ladybug wasn't as good, but was still pretty great.
Her just being so done with it was the best part. Like,
yeah.
again.
Yeah. Also, isn't Marinette klutzy generally? Like, isn't this?
See, I was really confused. That's another reason why I was like, I don't know about this power or this evil villain power, because she's already a klutz. So like he's like, oh, I'm gonna take this already
Super
klutzy
klutz.
person and make him super klutz. Like put a new outfit on her.
Yeah, I did that. That was a little confusing. It's still great. Also, obviously, Alex, one of my favorite characters. I talk about Alex every episode. Like, she's more stuff now, and she was really great. I loved her coordinating with Ladybug at the end of the episode.
And she's such a bro.
Yeah, she's such
She
a bro.
is.
She flies the kite with Ladybug at the end. She throws Marinette her yo-yo before she de-evilizes.
You'll need this. Like,
Yeah,
good job,
you'll need
Alex.
this. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you got the drill down by now, Alex. You've been involved in enough
She's
Ladybug
like,
sightings.
I know how this goes.
Yeah.
Like
She
I've
did-
seen all of the other episodes.
I will say one of the best shots is when, like, because, you know, now that it's like Miraculous Ladybug and everything's great, you like that awesome moment where Cat's fine and he's just like cash rescue. Like, that was really good. I liked that a lot.
Yeah. So they Marinette and Alex throw together the paper airplane up in the air, and that's an awesome shot. And then the miraculous ladybugging of everything turning back to normal was maybe the best of the series in this episode, because it reverses the reverser effect on everyone, and you see Cat being scared and then him being like action shot, like, and then
It was really cool.
yeah, that was a
super
nice,
smooth.
Like, he's just hanging there and then he's just like, yeah.
yeah.
grab.
Yeah, it was
like,
great.
Another thing this episode does really well, continuing, like, that's all incredible stuff. This episode makes incredible use of all of its minor characters. Delaney talked about Ivan Mylene protesting. That's great. We have Chloe and Sabrina reversing roles.
That was
Oh,
good. And then when
yes.
it's done and they're like, that was good.
Yeah, that's really good. You have Roger, anarchist Roger.
Yep.
He robs a bank.
That was good.
With his it's like a bubble gun.
Yeah, something like that. And and some more stuff too I'll get to when I go through. But yeah, this is just great use of the entire cast, and just like really good stuff. Like obviously the switcheroo of it's like, we know that this is going to go badly for Ladybug, of the Ladybug Diary and erasing the name on it, and but I guess that's a little slow. But like in general, I think this entire episode, just the show's kind of firing on all cylinders. I really love when it's this ridiculous. Like, this hits the level of tone of the zombie episode for me. Like, that episode's
Yeah.
just so stupid and
Mhm.
incredible, and like that's, I think, Ladybug at its best right now. And I can't believe we've gone so hard down this route in season 2. And it's brilliant. Like, I honestly think it's incredible creative decisions, like, at a high level by this team, of just going for the absurd so much. No other show we cover has remotely done this. And I think it's just very successful. Like, this is the stupid show. Like, and that's great. Like, that's why we love it. So I think this is just
And we're still getting the great character moments. And they're hitting the gas on the character moments, and they're launching into space on, we know this is stupid, and Hawkmoth is stupid, but we're going to make this super dumb. With the
we're
dumpster.
Going to own this, hard.
They own it, they own the show. And also, we didn't even talk about Hawkmoth, our favorite, who has some great lines as well in this episode.
He did have a great line.
Okay,
My girlfriend was like, how does he know? And I was like, he feels the angst.
Let's talk about Hawkmoth quickly. He's not a major part of the episode, but he's our favorite. So at the end, Hawkmoth says, "Someday soon, Ladybug and Cat Noir, the order of things will reverse, and I will win."
Fake news.
What do we think of that line?
Okay.
He literally does this every episode,
right?
Okay.
One of these days, I'll have your miraculous.
One day. Can we get a count on how many times he says "soon"?
I think that's one of his least creative puns on the villain.
Probably.
Just, one day I'll win because it'll be opposite day, guys. That's what I'm gonna win.
Oh, he's the worst.
That's all he has at the end of it.
Highlight of the episode. Plog didn't talk.
Plog did not really appear in this episode outside of the transformation sequence. Also, no Alia. Very rare.
Sad. That's terrible.
Yeah. Worse.
I'm honestly impressed that they had a great episode that I liked and it didn't have Alia in it.
Yeah,
how did they manage that?
It's impressive. Apparently only the second episode without Alia, says the wiki. We'll check on that. But that's no Plog, no Tiki. Not that much Tiki, although as referenced, she has this incredible line, "You're a lucky charm for artists everywhere," says Tiki.
Thank you for being... Also, thanks for all the people who maybe make questionable fan art who were like, no.
She also had the line about this being a fairy tale come true.
Yeah.
And I rolled my eyes so hard it hurt.
Tiki was shipping it.
What? We all are.
Yeah, we're all shipping it. We'll get back to them. So this is another line from Hawkmoth. "You've been accused of being someone you're not. So from now on, no one will be who they claim to be."
That doesn't even make sense.
I don't understand that logic, Hawkmoth. What's the I think you ruined the premise of this villain. What are you talking about here?
That would have made sense if
things, and he hopes it happens. He doesn't know.
I was gonna say that line would have made sense if, if whenever not Marinette, if Ladybug had gotten hit with the paper airplane, and then she became not Ladybug.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would have made more sense. That line would have.
I think it was literally just for the drama, and then you're like, oh, JK, it doesn't do anything.
Shut up, Hawkmoth.
Okay, let's be real. Hawkmoth's always about the drama. He lives for the drama.
He does live for the drama. That's why I appreciate him.
Also, he had the best. It wasn't just "Fly away, my Akuma." It was "Fly away, my beautiful Akuma."
Yeah,
that's the first.
Yeah. He said, "My beautiful Akuma." Why was he just feeling happy? Why?
Yes, go.
He's like, it's Akuma. It's Akuma Appreciation Day.
This is my favorite Akuma.
Wait, no. Let's go back to Hawkmoth. Hawkmoth's the next episode. Yes, Akuma, go, Queen. Yes, Akuma,
go. Yes.
Can we get that?
No. The Akuma has to get there, and he goes, "Yeah."
Yes.
It hits a person. He's yes.
And we don't even pan to him. You just hear him going, "Yeah."
Okay, we need the new fan art of Hawkmoth saying "Yas" to Akuma all the time. That's what's happening. Yeah, Hawkmoth at the end of this episode, he's like, "I'll win on it when it's opposite day, guys," and also
yes.
Okay, we need this to happen. Okay. Back to
just adding it to our Hawkmoth fanfic.
We're adding it to the fanfic.
There's so much in Hawkmoth fanfic.
It's a lot. But let's go back to these space dumpsters because I don't think we've
The thing is, they're literally dumpsters with rockets, and it's oh my god.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't think we've covered the space dumpsters enough. So first of all, we're introduced to these space dumpsters with Nadia Shamak reporting on the dumpsters. She seems extremely upset and reluctant to be reporting on this.
Yes.
She's like,
I don't want to report.
Is this what my career has come to? Reporting on space dumpsters?
I think it's more I can't believe this is a real thing.
She's not feeling it.
This is Paris Ladybug interview.
Yeah, no, she's much more excited about the Ladybug interview. Yeah, this is oh my god, space dumpsters.
I don't understand. She should be extremely excited about space dumpsters.
I'm excited, yeah.
Paris is going to be the cleanest city on the earth.
Okay, let's just go over
Let's
the
just
basic.
take all our trash and move it somewhere else.
Exactly. Let's talk about the basic logic of space dumpsters. So, how did this originate? As April said, how did this initiative come to
Also,
the
the mayor of Paris definitely does not have any sort of resources, anything to space.
No, this would require the president of France, and like even then, no one's being allowed to launch dumpsters into space. How did they launch? Space dumpsters are not like aerodynamic enough or whatever to be able to go through the atmosphere. Are these like special spacecraft dumpsters?
Also, we spend
expensive.
So much money is spent sending people into space, and so much money is spent sending supplies to the International Space Station. I'm just imagining this rocket, and if this rocket could talk, it's like, listen, all my cool brothers and sisters get to like deliver. Obviously, they're gendered. All these cool, stupid rockets get to take stuff to cool places, and meanwhile, my job is to drop off dumpsters.
Took me a second to figure out you're talking from the rocket's point of view. Like,
obviously, I thought she was also talking from the rocket's point of view.
No, she was. That's accurate.
Yeah, the rocket's like, oh man, this sucks. Like, why? There's so much on the rocket to send the dumpsters into space.
I have a question about the space dumpsters. Why are they just sitting there above Earth? Why don't we eject the trash away from Earth?
Just send it into the sun. That would be a much more logical thing.
Okay, but here's the other thing too. How are they going to constantly refuel those space dumpsters? Because it's not like they just put them into orbit. They were literally just like essentially like floating there, which means
they have fuel burning to float
dumpsters. Exactly. Like they're not even orbiting the Earth. It would have made much more sense if they were orbiting the Earth or something like that.
This was like a joke. Someone was like, "Oh, space dumpsters," or somebody drew a dumpster with rockets, and someone went, "I know where that should go," and then this happened, and I'm just like, "What?"
They were just doodling in a
the entire episode has to be based around space dumpsters. Like that has to be the focal point of the episode.
It doesn't even like you could just take it away, and the episode would make sense. You could just insert any other threat on Paris. Like they just had to add in space dumpsters.
They literally could have made up any other dumb protest, and they could have had like a non-serious protest.
They could have been protesting like loud music or art or something.
Yeah, like art that would have tied in thematically, and then we're here.
Yeah, this doesn't really tie into the art theme. That's a good point. So they're protesting, and their slogan is "Space is no dump." Is their protest chant? What do you think of that chant? Good. Is that good?
It's quality. I mean,
it's effective.
I too like this was actually like so it's ridiculous, but I was like feeling. I was like, I don't want us to send garbage into space. That was the best part of it. Like I was like, they're right, and then I'm like, why are we doing this? Why is this in the episode?
I think the episode says they're stored in orbital dumpsters, right? So they're just
they're not orbital. They're just
the thing is like they're just sitting there, but like normally the thing is in the show like the characters do things, and you're like, that's stupid. Don't do that. But no, like the people of Paris were doing something for once that I was like, I think this has merit.
So you would be in the hypothetical future. By the way, you can totally see Trump doing this. By the way, so it's not that far fetched. But if in the future where the space dumpsters happen, you'll be protesting, Delaney. Is what you're saying?
Yes, I will be protesting. Space
Delaney, I'll meet you there. Like,
okay. I have to say, I don't. Obviously, sending dumpsters up into space and having it sit there above Earth is stupid. But I don't think ejecting trash into space and having it going away from Earth is a bad idea. I think it's better than putting it into the ocean.
Okay, this just makes me think of that Futurama episode where they make a giant like ball of garbage and then they send it into space and then they're like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. It'll never like. And they're like, oh, well, we like project it's going to come back. And they're like, what? That'll never happen. Or they say something like, oh, well, we'll be dead by the time that happens. And then they're dealing with trying to like blow up the giant ball of like garbage. Has no one else seen this episode? Because that's exactly what it made me think of.
That sounds exactly right. I assume this is something
I have some knowledge on this.
Okay.
So, like,
on space trash?
Yes. No, there is space trash because of like debris. And, like, it's bad. Like, and it's a danger to astronauts working on the International Space Station.
Yeah.
Also, further away than that.
Yes, sending trash into space is better than dumping it in the ocean, but we still shouldn't send it into space. We shouldn't
do either. Okay, yeah.
Don't do either of those things.
Seems better than, like, the trash island that's bigger than Texas or whatever. Yeah, seems better than that.
I feel like it like a more productive use of that money for space dumpsters could have gone to like finding like more renewable like resources or like better recycling or something along those lines.
Where's the space recycling bin? That's my question.
We need a Miraculous Ladybug and Captain Planet crossover.
Yeah, Captain Planet would be on this.
I love Captain Planet.
Captain Planet would not be okay with this.
He might cross over here. Okay, we didn't talk about this line from Mayor Bourgeois at the end. He says, my, I guess that space dumpster thing was a bad idea after all.
What?
And then he's like, send it back. And I'm like, no, this is, no.
What did it take for him to realize this? Like, what? He
got reversed.
Yeah.
He was reversed, but this was post-reversing, wasn't it?
Yeah, he got reversed. He's like, this is a bad idea. We're going to dump it all on Earth.
Yeah, the reversing was so that he would make Paris a trash place instead of clean. But he still he before he got reversed in the first place, he was supporting this initiative. And then at the end, he sees the error of his ways, and he says, "My."
Yeah, no. Oh my god.
So does that mean they still have to deal with the trash falling from the sky, like these space dumpsters?
Yeah. Did the Miraculous Ladybug get rid of the space dumpsters? That's a good question.
Are they still there? That is a good question.
How do they take them down? Yeah.
We need this resolved.
Well, see, that's why I was like, oh, well, if they have the technology to get the dumpsters into space, then they should have the technology to bring them back. But how are you going to reverse
the technology?
I will have you know that we have satellites, and they will legit just fall to Earth. So, don't know what to tell you.
They're going to fall somewhere.
Yeah, I think next episode is just dealing with the falling space dumpsters.
Of the space dumpsters.
I don't think things have been resolved here. They haven't.
This is still an issue.
This is troubling.
I need someone to tell me what happened to the space dumpsters now, because I'm really concerned.
So, please, Ladybug crew, please.
Ladybug can just get rid of things that are bad. Can she come here?
Dumpsters.
Can she come here?
Miraculous Ladybug!
Miraculous Ladybug, let's reverse the 2016 election, right? That's what Delaney's asking.
Yes.
Okay. I'm glad with that. Surprising it took us until now to make that joke, but
right.
So we'll deal with the space dumpsters. But yeah, write that into season 5 or 6, whatever you're writing right now, Ladybug crew. The space dumpster resolution. We demand it.
They finished season 3, right? So
season 3's done written by a long time. Yeah. And yet, but I don't know if you guys have seen the news of the live Ladybug stage musical that's coming next year. That was announced at Comic-Con.
Is it touring the U.S.?
I very not clear, but there's no details.
Am I going to be able to go see this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Are the three of us going to go see this?
Yeah, I think we have to. Yeah, road trip to see this.
We're going to go.
And we'll live report on the musical. And also the live action this is all Comic-Con panel news. I don't know why I'm bringing it up now. I guess because we're in the context of ridiculous things. The live action Ladybug movie is going ahead, and it is being directed by the director of The Greatest Showman. So it's a real thing.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So just keep on the lookout for those two things. The live.
Oh Jesus! As long as it's cast better than the Kim Possible movie,
it's not going to be.
I actually thought those announcements were jokes.
No, that's real. No, real things that happen over the weekend.
Also, I will like to clarify. I like all of the casting except for Ron and Kim. Anyway, moving on.
That's not. No. Why'd you go circle back to that? Okay. Also, those are the main
Before
two
they were
characters.
angry comments.
Also, those are the main two characters. I like everything except the named ones. Okay, I
meant for the casting.
I'd like to end this space dumpster discussion by requoting the line of the episode. Those are no stars. The trash is entering the atmosphere. In a few minutes, it'll be like having a meteor shower, except with dumpsters instead. Like Marinette 2018. Okay.
I'm just imagining, what if I had read this in a book? And I would have just been like, what?
Those are no stars.
Those are no stars.
My. Those are no stars. I want to combine lines from this episode now.
God, I don't know. I didn't think we were ever going to beat Tenzin for the worst line ever in the world. This show does it.
Yeah, to be fair, this is a dub, and this is not the original language, but...
there's no way the line in French is significantly.
We need this episode in French. We need it now.
We will do another podcast
on the French episode.
We'll do a follow-up on the French one when the subs come out. Okay, we'll reconvene then.
We have to.
Yes.
Okay, we have to hit other parts of this episode because I know we talked about the most important part, but let's.
We're gonna end up talking about space dumpsters.
They're so focal to the episode.
They're just so important. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Mark and Mark and Nathaniel. First of all, Nathaniel's triumphant return this episode. He's been in the background of a few episodes since the Evil Strader. It's episode 1, a fan favorite. I should communicate that Nathaniel is by far one of the most popular side characters of this show, even if I don't know if he's near and dear to either of your hearts, but
No.
I forgot who he was.
Wow! Shots fired.
I didn't forget who he was, but I just don't care about him.
Yeah, so let's recap. In Evil Strader, he crushed on Marinette really hard, and then I guess by the end of the episode, he's crushing on Ladybug instead, and that's continued since then. So that's the context for this. Yeah.
Also, why was Mark writing about the Evil Strader? Like, okay, other than the fact that Mark is obviously in love with Nathaniel.
Yes, correct.
Yes. Is there like another reason?
I guess Evil Strader is just very popular among their school. Like, he must be the most popular. Like, do they discuss the akumatized villains, the past ones, like all the time? And like,
because they've never talked about it before. Like, this is
because didn't we have a discussion where we weren't sure if people remembered whatever they were really, akumatized or not? Because really it seemed like they do and don't. So like, he was just one of the lucky ones who remembers. Like.
In theory, everyone else except the person who got akumatized does remember, and that person forgets. Except when Zombie Zoo and she kind of remembered. I think. But yeah, it's really not been clear. They've never really discussed the past villains like this before, but yeah, they're all like crazy about Evil Strader, and his headcanon's like that Evil Strader's like a hero now. He changed his name to Mighty Little Strader. Mighty Strader, I don't know.
I want to know what the French version is.
Yeah, we need it.
Good question. And as discussed, they're teaming up against Queen Wasp. Clearly this episode is meant to air after that one, and it is not. So congrats on screwing up the ordering of this. Despite the fact that it's been like 2 months since the last episode, we can't even air this correctly after the Queen Wasp episode. That's unfortunate. And also, it's frustrating because there's no canon this season. Like, this is one of the few instances where something has to air after something else, and yet we did not get that right.
Yep.
Not sure if Zag to blame or Family Channel. Probably Zag is to blame. But anyway, yeah. So Nathaniel and Mark. Mark is
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. Mark needs first of all, why Mark didn't exist until now in the show,
and he's hiding under the stairs.
And since when is Marinette friends with Mark? Like, this person we didn't know existed, and then
no, it's okay. They explained it.
Is Marinette just friends with everyone? I mean, I think this episode.
Obviously, everyone's like, Marinette is the greatest person ever, which is
she
true.
She is, yeah.
Yes.
No, I really like when Alex is like, Marinette wouldn't do that. She's so nice, and I was like, true facts.
True. Yeah, I guess this episode, to be fair, does talk about that. It says like, "Oh, Marinette, you want to be friends with everyone," and like Evil Strader or Reverser says that. So we kind of lampshade that a little bit. But yeah, just very random new person. What do we think of Mark? His design, I think it suffers similarly to all new Ladybug season 2 new character designs in the realm of Emo boy, who I'm forgetting his name. How dare I? Yeah, new emo boy.
Are you talking about Luca?
Luca, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I forgot. Yeah, he's a little bit of the Luca Uncanny Valley, I think, going on with him. But he's
for the record, my girlfriend loves Luca, and she also likes this character because, again, aesthetic.
Okay, good.
He literally had black nail polish and was wearing fingerless gloves. Like, I was feeling my middle school like so hard.
Yeah, he writes the Ladybug Diary. And it was cute Ladybug fanfic.
I thought it was
yes.
Yeah, and Nathaniel needs a writer, and he's writing for comic books. They're made for each other.
Yep, gay.
They really are.
Yeah. At the end of the episode, Marinette brings them together, and they hand in hand, and they say they'll work together now.
Aww, and then they make a comic book.
Wait, what was you almost saying?
For the record, when they reveal the comic book, my girlfriend leans over and goes, "They've definitely kissed." And I was like, wow.
Wait, can we what's the logic on that?
It's my girlfriend. I don't know what to tell you. She was like...
I mean, I agree they've definitely kissed. Oh, by the way, I've been told that Mark's last name in French means rainbow.
Yeah!
Rainbow? Sure, I got it now.
Could we be...
Turn around and tell my girlfriend this. This is going to be so exciting.
Could we be any clearer Markings gay for Nathaniel. Like, oh my goodness. To the show's credit, I think it's very blatant here, and we've been very blatant with the Rose and Julica. So like we've been having.
They're basically in each other's laps on the bus. Like this is the best.
Yeah, and then they're clinging to each other this episode. They've done a good job.
And then we have Voltron. Like man, back when Legend of Korra, and we were like, and then now we're here, and it's amazing.
Now we're
what a
getting stuff.
time to be alive.
Yeah, obviously Ruby Sapphire and Steven Universe, but so let's go through. They've apparently also another new thing. There's this art club or just people hanging out in the art room. So first of all, we have this.
Also, this super. Okay, can we talk about this like terrifying art teacher who looks like he's so detailed, and none of the other characters are that detailed in the face.
Yeah, the
designs
don't match. Yeah, it's
so weird.
He seems sweet, but his design is not congruous with. Yeah, he's kind of like Bob Rossi, and I don't know, like what would you?
Weird.
They're like a professor version of Bob Ross.
Yeah, he is. He's really nice though. Like, why isn't he in the show other than that? But yeah, let's go through the people in there. We have Rose is part of the art club. She's writing lyrics for a rock band.
Okay.
And then she starts yelling.
Yelling. Yeah, Rose is the best. Oh my goodness. Alex is doing street art. Nathaniel's making his comics, and then as we said, Chloe comes in and he's
she's got to do her selfie collages.
And Alex roasts her out of the room.
I was not happy. I mean, I'm feeling Alex is great, but that was mean.
Chloe deserved it so much. It was amazing.
You don't need to say Chloe deserves it. It's implied. But
okay, you're right.
But
it's just the fact that like they're always like, they say stuff and Chloe's like whatever, but the fact that like she actually left was the best part. Like she really got roasted so hard she left.
But then the teacher is just like, "Well, Alex, I hope you feel good about yourself." And Alex is just like, "I don't care." I loved that. She just blew off the teacher. He was just like, "You should be nice to people," and she's like, "No, that's fine."
No, you should not be nice to Chloe.
No, I think Alex is just like petulant, and that was her way of acknowledging the criticism. Like she was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." Like I think Alex took it to heart. Buy or sell? Oh. Sell, obviously.
Sell.
Okay, I think that was my interpretation.
If Marinette can't be nice to Chloe, who is like the literal embodiment of the nicest person ever.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's Marinette's biggest personality flaw, as said by the show. So, I mean,
is it really a flaw? She deserves it.
It's but stop.
So then, whenever she got hit with the airplane, shouldn't she have been nice to Chloe?
Yes. Oh, that would have been so good. Oh, I would have loved that. Yeah, let's go back
Dylan would have just died.
Oh my god, yeah.
This podcast would be 4 hours.
The OTP of Marinette and Chloe. Wow, let's make it happen.
Oh gosh,
Chloe and Ladybug is the real OTP. That's her OTP in her head. Yeah, everyone knows that. I talked about the scene of the Marinette's like clinging on to Reverser as he's flying, and then he reverses the guy on the bike, and then Marinette swings under the bridge to save him in this action shot, and it's so cool. I love that.
It's super. Is it the screenshot?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't picked it yet. I'm waiting for the HD Miraculous up. So,
right.
I haven't picked it, but I feel like Alex has to be in the screenshot. We'll see.
Well, she's your fave.
Yeah, she's my fave. Yeah,
no, it should be when they're with the kite and Ladybug has her hands on Alex's shoulder.
I think that might be a leading.
Or
contender.
It should be of Chat as the kite.
Yeah. What about bound and gagged cat? Like,
yes.
We talked about Klutz Ladybug and Scaredy Cat. So first, another Hawkmoth thing we didn't get to is Hawkmoth gives up.
He sighs. He literally sighs.
He lets Reverser go after Marinette and Nathaniel instead of the Miraculouses. Hawkmoth, you're off your game. What are you doing? Are you just? He has
finally realized how pointless what he does is.
This is Hawkmoth. He's like, it's not going to go right anyway. Whatever, just go after. Just do whatever. I know this is going to fail.
Well, no, it's so funny. He does this every time, and like, there's always that moment in the episode where the person's like, "I have powers. I'm going to do this," and Hawkmoth's like, "Oh, it's like learn eventually, Hawkmoth."
Yeah, like Hawkmoth has given up, I think. Like he's like, whatever, just do what you want. I'll get you guys on opposite day. Like Sakuma, like that's what he's doing. So we're leading towards the Hawkmoth or whatever we're doing with Hawkmoth in the finale, Heroes Day. So we'll see. Cat in cabs, Scaredy Cat in the cabs. He says, "Whoa, you drive like a maniac." And then later he says, well, you're a public health hazard to the cab driver.
And then he's like, I didn't even get over 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he used this, like, the safety blanket. Yeah, the shock blanket. Oh, it's so good. Yeah. We visit the Louvre because obviously we have to visit the Louvre.
We have to visit the Louvre and the Eiffel Tower because we can't forget we're in Paris for 2 minutes.
Wait, are we in Paris? Oh, there's the Eiffel Tower.
This happened in France. Did you know Paris sent space dumpsters?
We're not talking anymore about space dumpsters, guys. Jeez.
But
We convince Alex to come help too, or Alex convinces them. She's like, "I'm coming." Like,
because
we also have like, but we got to go get Marinette. We don't have time for Marinette.
That was the best. We didn't talk about it, and I was like, "Wow!" Like, can you be any more aggressive? We don't have time to get Marinette. Like, okay, that was the most obvious thing ever. At least Adrian tried. He was like, I forgot my fencing gloves, and since we're stuck in traffic, I gotta go. Bye.
I know his bodyguard's like, okay, whatever. Like, doesn't even say.
Also, we didn't talk about the real magical Adrian and Marinette moment where Adrian winked at her and then walked away.
Yeah, so Adrian catches Marinette and Mark spying, and
he calls her out for snooping or whatever. Or not snooping, but like spying on people. Yes. But was he not also spying on her to notice that she was spying on someone else? Because it's not like her, like she was just like out in the open spying. She was like hiding behind stairs or something.
And he was just standing there like, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, Adrian just always watching Marinette now. That's the conclusion. Yeah. By the way, this dramatic moment from earlier in the episode I forgot about is when Nathaniel he thinks he's being pranked and he says a comic book, us together, never, and then he rips the pages like in.
It was beautiful. Also, he blushes right before, and I'm like, this is gonna suck so much.
Mark is blushing hard, yeah. And,
also, shame on Nathaniel for really, he thinks that was actually Ladybug's diary. Get out of here.
He's just very, very stupid, yeah.
I love Marinette.
Akumatized
person. Like, Marinette didn't have to be so sketchy about it. Like, why y'all gotta be like this?
Oh yeah, Marinette was very stupid. Marinette said, you can give it back to the author today, later in person. Like, oh my god. And it's about Ladybug diary. You can give it back to the author. She was being very stupid. And yeah, you thought Nathaniel was gonna be akumatized, April?
I was waiting for it. I was like,
I thought both of them were gonna get akumatized.
Yeah, okay, what is Nathaniel being akumatized here look like? Hawkmoth says, Nathaniel, you're the biggest idiot I've ever seen. Thinking this was from Ladybug. You are
the Illustrator too.
No, you're the moron version of the Illustrator. You can only paint.
You're the moron.
No. Hawkmoth akumatizes him, and he's like, okay, and he keeps laughing in the middle of talking. Okay. So you actually thought Ladybug liked you. That's hilarious. And so he just keeps like giggling while he's like, he can't keep a straight face, trying to tell him what he wants him to do.
Yeah,
your power is gonna be like that when you kiss her or whatever. That's not gonna happen. You get her earrings.
Oh wow, burn, jeez. He's like, that's not gonna happen. So don't worry.
He's like, we can't keep it together. He's like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Or he just has a moment where he's like, wait, hold on, I've already akumatized you. I can't do this. What is wrong with you?
Like he gets him, and then before he even talks, Nathaniel's like, I'm ready, and he's like, whoa, let's wait a minute, let's calm it down.
I've already been akumatized. I don't do double akumatization.
So he's like, this is a one-time only thing. Like, sorry, this is embarrassing, but
well, you guys hate Nathaniel so much, even Hawkmoth is rejecting him.
Basically.
I think the moron illustrator only does like caricature paintings. Like I think that's what he does.
Except they're not really good caricature.
Like, they're not good, yeah. So okay, let's add that to the fanfic. Okay, back to the. We didn't talk enough about the climax of the episode because Marinette Lucky Charms a bamboo roll. I guess a lot of bamboo things. And then sends up. First of all, she's like a negotiation. It's like a hostage situation with
Also,
Reverser.
A bamboo roll would definitely not fly.
Yeah. Okay. You're questioning so we've questioned the aerial dynamics of the bamboo roll and also the space dumpsters in this podcast.
Yes.
This podcast. Okay. Noted. I actually think this scene is like, it's so ridiculous, but it's also like awesome and cinematic. Like this climax. Like I'm so.
No, they're like, it's so dramatic. And like,
yes.
you even have like, you watch the elevator go up. It's so good.
Yeah. And they come up. It's, She sends up Nathaniel and a cat in with the kites, and it's so he has the yo-yo in his mouth. So what's the purpose of sending up the yo-yo? Is it so that the kite can fly? That's like the string to the kite.
Yes, that's how they flew the kite.
What do you like? Yes, as in that's obvious. Like, yeah, that's how they fly the kite. But is there no other way to do this?
Yes, because I have to redeem myself because I did not follow what was going on with her, like lady, like her Lucky Charm at all. I was just like, what are you doing? Like, this one does not make any sense to me. I like even after I saw her do it, I was like, okay, but how? Like, you guys weren't working that hard in the elevator.
Yeah, it's I don't know how this came to be, but I loved it that it came into existence. Yeah, the cat has the yo-yo in his mouth, and then he like runs off and like drops the yo-yo, and then Alex and Marinette are directing the kite at, I guess because he's too scared to do it himself. So he needs to, and he needs the scaredest cataclysm we've ever seen. Cataclysm at the paper airplane. And then it goes and, it's incredible. And, then, we talked about, that like cat falling and and Miraculous Ladybugging everyone away. We get the, Miraculous Ladybug before the de-evilizing. I think it's only like the 5th or 6th time we've gotten that. Still unclear on the sequencing here. I feel like we need to get this down by now, Marinette. You know, I feel like it's this is our like 40th decumatization.
We've done this before, like.
Yeah, but Alex helping out, throwing the yo-yo there, and it's incredible. That whole scene. Wow, what a work of art is what I would say.
But not as beautiful as Space Dumpsters.
Well, I guess you could call that a work of art. Is that how it ties into the artistic theme of this episode, April? Space Dumpsters is like an art exhibit. It's like a high concept Banksy type exhibit.
You have to pay like $500 to get in.
There's like a telescope set up so that you can like view the Space Dumpsters. Pay $500 to Banksy to view that. Okay, I'm glad we figured that out. And then at the end, they're showing, Mark and Nathaniel hand in hand together. I also like the pounding it in the background of that as well. And then they're showing off their first issue later, and it's dedicated to Marinette. Who would make a superhero if she wasn't such a klutz.
We get it. No one thinks Marinette is Ladybug.
Yeah, I know. Like every episode, we have to end it. I'm like, really? We get it.
We get it. It was a ridiculous ending to a ridiculous episode. One thing I want to point out is that I think I believe this episode featured some of the first new music we've had in the show in a little while.
Can we talk about that music? Because there was that one scene when Marinette was giving Mark the fake diary back
in the locker.
Yes, and that music was so unnecessarily intense.
I loved it. It was so extra.
No, it was beautiful music, but I was like, this is very ill placed right now because I feel like this should be in a movie and not in this moment of this show in particular.
It's like, why did we just get the new music in by the time this episode came out? I don't understand why this episode in particular we get the new music.
They commissioned the music like
just for Space Dumpsters.
4 years ago. They commissioned it 4 years ago. They just got it. And they were like, oh my gosh,
we gotta get it in.
Yes, we have to use this music right away. And so they like watched the entire episode and they were like, where do we put this music in? Space Dumpsters? No. Let's put it in the random locker theme.
Okay, there's more tracks than that, but yeah, that's the one behind the locker room scene is incredible. I also noted, I think there might be more than this that I didn't notice, but there's the Hawkmoth akumatization scene, the basic beginning one, had a new track behind it, I think. At least I didn't notice it before. Like, that was a really cool new one. And then also, like, the climax that we've been talking about had some climactic music that, at least to me, sounded unfamiliar. So those would be the 3 times I noticed it, but yeah, definitely had music we hadn't heard before. We brought it out for this vital Reverser episode.
It's a very important episode, you guys.
Very, very important episode, and let's close things out by giving our final thoughts until, of course, the French version comes out when we'll revisit this episode and the French dub of it.
You joke. I'm ready for it.
You're right. You're like, let's do it right now. Okay.
Let's find the French version.
Yeah, let's. We just. It hasn't aired yet. When will Tfu air the episode? When will we get our space dumpsters in French? Delaney, what are your closing parting thoughts on everything surrounding Reverser, including the space dumpsters?
Space is no dump.
Okay, protesting. You're fired up to protest.
Fired up.
Yes.
No, it was a really good episode, and I really the villain was great. This episode was incredible. It was just ridiculous.
Yes.
Which this show is dumb. It's so great, and I love it, and that's why I love it, because it's stupid. And we have great character moments, and all the characters are so stupid, but I love it. So it's great. It's just watching my little children just be dumb, and it's great.
That is, watch my little children be dumb, and it's great. That is this Delaney's overall review of Miraculous Ladybug.
Yes.
I think that's accurate. Yes. Okay, April, what are your final thoughts on the dumpsters? Specifically.
I was gonna say, because I guess the space dumpster thing was a bad idea after all.
My.
But no, this was this episode, as ridiculous as it is just, it's great and it's wonderful, and I'm glad the show has really found its stride in this season with these these insane episodes that I've never fathomed would have happened. So keep up the good work, guys. And hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. Keep up the good work, Mark, and more space dumpsters, please. No, don't. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on whether we want more space dumpsters or not.
I feel like they should be a one-time treat so we can really appreciate them.
Okay, until they bring them back in season 6 because we requested it.
Yes.
Yes.
They're going to listen to this podcast and
right,
be
they're writing season 6 right now, and they're going to pencil it in.
They're going to listen. Overly animated, loved, in all caps, underlined.
Space dumpsters. Pencil that in for the season 6 episode involving Alex as a hero. Get that in there. Space dumpster sequel.
Perfect.
Maybe we're past Alex by now. Maybe at that point we're Mark is a hero at that point. We brought Mark back just to be a hero for the space dumpsters. Okay, that's it. Let us know what you thought of Reverser, and especially the space dumpsters, in the comments at overlyanimated.com. Click on the article. If you're listening on YouTube, at overlyanimated.com/YouTube. Leave us your comments there as well. For everything we talked about in Reverser, the space dumpsters, all of our Hawkmoth headcanons, Opposite Day, Yasing the Akumas. Are you shipping? Obviously Mark and Nathaniel, yes, and when should we implement the Space Dumpster Initiative? Give us your proposals, and we'll be back to talk more Miraculous Ladybug when the show comes back next. Who knows when that will be, except Canada kind of has a schedule out, and I believe next week they're airing Frightening Gale, which we've already seen, and then the week after that we might be new with the new episode. So maybe 2 weeks till the next episode in Canada. We'll see, though. Always pending with the schedule. Always never for sure. And talk about the show with us on our Discord, overlyanimated.com/Discord, Ladybug Spoilers channel. Bring up the space dumpsters, please. And support us via Patreon, patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to all of our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Sam, aka Yosemite Sam. And thanks as always to our patron executive producers, John, Ryan, Steve, Alex, Andy, and Hugh. Check out overlyanimated.com for a bunch more of our stuff, including the big Steven Universe episode that came up on the app last night. Not as big as this episode of Ladybug, of course, but still pretty big. And a bunch of other content as well, including full Comic-Con coverage. Hear more about that Ladybug panel with the live musical as well at overlyanimated.com. Thanks very much for listening, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.